This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, Albert Lorenzo, LightBlindedFool, Green Man, Deyvis Ferreira, Kristen Gilreath, and Logan Storey. We'd also like to thank and acknowledge Adam, who increased his Patreon pledge to become a producer-level patron. We're really excited to have your continued support, and thank you for your generosity. Adam joins the ranks of Passion Socks, Cody Fouts, Mozyme, Multude, Benjamin, Michelle O'Brien, Jonathan Reese, Jamie Young, Megan Smiley, Margaret, and Charlie Has. In this episode, we're talking about chapters 7 and 8 of Winter's Heart.
Yeah, so chapter 7 is The Streets of Caemlyn, and chapter 8 is Seafolk and Kin.
Yeah,
so they go together really well.
Yeah.
And there's some funny things that happen.
Couple things.
And then we can move on.
That's about it.
Yeah. But, there is some things to talk about.
I know that. It's just whenever there's a chapter that's like, The Streets of Caemlyn.
Oh, I know.
I was like, oh.
A lot of exposition.
I will be very surprised if anything actually happens.
Yeah.
Than wandering around the streets of Caemlyn.
Mm-hmm. It's in the chapter title.
It's in the title.
And it's not like it's a place we haven't been before.
No,
we've
seen
times.
These streets. It
looks a little different, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
With the amount of people. There's lots of people.
We get the
we've seen
name
before.
and the history of Needle Street, which was just fascinating.
Riveting.
Super important to the plot.
I don't think I took any notes on that.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, shoot. I really want to talk a lot about Needle Street.
Okay. Well, there's... there is a fun surprise,
That needle merchants don't work there anymore?
No, for Elaine, later on. There's a fun surprise that Rand left for Elaine.
Oh, no.
That comes up.
That's not in this chapter.
No, but
That's in a different chapter.
It's basically the same chapter. It's all the same.
Okay.
So I will kick us off with a fun fact here, and it's funny because what I want to talk about is the real-world inspiration of the Caemlyn, or Caemlyn.
Ah.
Yeah. Depends how you pronounce that.
Is that the red dot that Nynaeve has on her forehead? Okay.
Yes, yes. Now, this is the first time we're hearing of this in the main series.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, it's a very tiny little...
Which makes sense because it's a Malkieri tradition, and we haven't learned very much about the Malkieri.
Not a ton, but we've been around land for a while, and it's like, it hasn't really come up.
Well, yeah. Okay, go on.
But anyways, it's here. It's the small dot painted in the middle of her forehead of Malkieri women to indicate their marital status, implying that there may not just be the red dot because red would be for married, so there may be other colors to look for in the future.
Ah.
Yeah, it's marital status color dot. So.
I thought it was just the red dot implying that she's married.
Okay.
That's how I
read
fine. That. Okay,
that's fine.
Go
but
on.
Likely, if you saw that and thought about that, it's likely based off the bindi. So a bindi, and there's several names for it, but that's just the one I'm going to use because there's actually a few different names you could use to describe it.
Probably in different languages, yeah.
Yeah, it's a colored dot, or in modern times, a sticker worn on the center of the forehead, originally by Hindus, Sikhs, Buddhists, and Jains from the Indian subcontinent. So depends on a few factors, because I read almost the entirety of the Wikipedia page, so I'm just going to summarize it briefly as, depending on a few factors, it can either be of religious significance, or represent the third eye, or one of the chakras, or it might have no religious significance and be purely decorative. So it really depends on who's wearing it in what context. There's not exactly like a one-to-one comparison for what Nynaeve has as a status of marriage.
Right.
That's not what it actually does in the real world.
Okay.
So, however, a red bindi specifically has multiple meanings, and in Hinduism, I did want to point out that the color red represents honor, love, and prosperity. So that kind of tracks for a Nynaeve and Lan.
Sure.
I wish them honor and love and prosperity.
Why not?
Yep. Get that kingdom back,
Well.
All that stuff.
Anyways.
And then in addition, a little similarity, in addition to the bindi, in India, a vermilion mark, which I believe is a color, so like reddish orange. that you make a mark in the parting of the hair just above the forehead, and that's worn by married women as a commitment to long life and well-being of their husbands. So there is a bit of a marriage ceremony tied into that as well. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Fun facts about it.
There you go. Okay, so last time we were here was actually quite a while ago for us.
Yeah.
It was not a long time ago for people who are listening to this in real time. It was a few days ago. But for us, we recorded a bunch of episodes to get ahead, and then we went and took a trip back home to Winnipeg, and so now we're back.
We delayed even longer.
Because we're sick.
Very sick.
Everybody's sick right now. It's a whole thing. But here we are.
Yes.
Last time we were here.
So edit out all of my hacking and coughing. So
a couple weeks ago, Perrin and Fail were up to some stuff.
They were.
They were doing lots of stuff. That was the beginning of this book.
All right.
Fail was captured as a Gaishain by the dumb Shido in Savannah.
Yep.
Plus she's with the Queen of Gildan.
Alejandra.
That's the one.
Morghese.
And Morghese.
Yeah, and a few others.
And Baden. She had a bunch of them. Perrin is now going off to find her, but then Massima showed up.
Yep.
And is gonna tag along.
He's gonna help.
Even if that means traveling.
It's gonna be a big part.
Which he was adamantly against.
But now he's like,
but now it's okay.
Because...
he's crazy.
Well, no, because Rand would be very upset if something happened to Perrin's wife.
Right, but Rand would not be very upset if he took a very long time getting to him.
Yeah, that's
I don't
fine.
know.
That's fine.
Whatever.
It's good.
It's fine.
It makes sense.
This is all fine.
Yeah.
Okay, the last time we were with Elaine, she was in Caemlyn, first sister bonding with Avienda, and dealing with trying to become the queen and all of that business.
Yeah, and dealing with Taim.
And checking out the Black Tower.
Yeah.
Yes, we did see her there too. So, Chapter 7, the streets of Caemlyn, the chapter symbol's the lion. I don't even know how much there is to talk about here that's important to the plot.
There's, it's...
But we'll go through it, because that's what we do around here.
I got a few things that I'll point out as we go.
Okay, so Elaine is in Caemlyn, and she's riding through the streets.
Yeah.
The end. No,
there's a water wagon. They have a firefighting squad, because there's arson.
They got a lot going on.
That's kind of cool, right?
The arson's not cool.
No, the water wagon is, though.
That's kind of cool, yeah. Now, important to note, Elaine is in her full daughter heir getup.
Yeah.
Because she wants everyone to see her and know what's up and know she's there and know she's alive.
Yes.
And all that.
This is part of her, campaigning in the city to become the mayor of Caemlyn. That is just what it is now. I don't even care.
Even though it was pretty clear.
It's clear that I didn't say mayor.
You didn't say mayor?
It is now the mayor.
Now we need t-shirts
Elaine
that say
for mayor.
Elaine for mayor.
Yeah.
For sure.
This is her campaign strategy.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a bunch of description, and the streets are pretty packed right now. It's getting overpopulated, and people are stopping and staring at her as she goes by, and some are cheering for her.
Yeah, it's better than people
yelling.
Throws
tomatoes
no
at
tomatoes.
Her. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. She thinks about how that's good too.
Yeah, and she thinks about how one day she'll earn their praise.
Cool. That's what you want, right?
Yeah. And at this point, Elaine thinks about her first sister bond with Avienda, in case you forgot about that.
Yeah. It's kind of a cool summary on how it feels.
It feels like she can feel her presence in the city, but it's a different kind of presence than her bond with Brigida.
It's same, but different, but still same.
Yeah. And then we get a big old description of who's with her in this traveling party at the moment.
So here's the thing. Wrapped up into these chapters, we have the murder mystery of Adelis and Ispan.
Okay.
So here's the thing.
We get to that later.
I know we do. However, there's a few people who are suspects.
Ooh.
And Saritha is one of them.
Technically. Mm-hmm.
Technically one of the three who's listed as one of the murder suspects.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, okay.
Which
we'll get to,
by
the way.
I just want you to have that in the back of your mind.
There are more than three in my mind.
No.
Their logic of how
they figured it out.
Their logic of how they got to this was it's the only thing that makes sense. No, it's not.
We're not there yet. And all I want you to do is keep that in the back of your mind as I'm listing people who are here. Okay. So, we have Saritha, who's the Aes Sedai, doesn't have the face yet. We got her warder. We got 8 women in red coats and armor of the Queen's Guard. So that's new because I guess women in armor and being the Queen's Guards. And she chose them out specifically from the new recruits, I guess, for this reason. Because her whole thing is lots of recruiting, people from not from here too. So you really got to build up that I'd say, relationship and rapport with the people. So,
Okay.
anyways. And then the biggest news is that there are Aes Sedai in town, too.
Aes Sedai in town. Yes.
Not in the crew, but in town.
No, at the Silver Swan.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's our first in this book, I think.
Is it? Oh, I haven't
Yeah.
even kept track. Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
Anyway, I named our Discord general chat. I always pick an in from every book.
Is that what you picked for? Yeah.
Well, it's the only one so far.
Okay, so
and
there
we
you
had
go.
to name it for this book.
Oh,
So
no, okay.
it's the Silver Swan.
That works then.
That's where we're gonna hang out with some Aes Sedai, apparently.
Yeah.
All right. We do get that in a bit here because Saritha says it's not safe for you here. Anything might happen in a crowd like this. P.S. There's Aes Sedai staying in that inn over there.
Yeah, because
so watch out.
Because there's 10 Aes Sedai staying at the Silver Swan Inn, and it's no chance that it's Elida's, crew.
But probably not.
Yeah, and Elaine doesn't really think so because a few have come and gone since they arrived, and there's not even any Red Sisters here, and a lot of sisters are kind of just, waiting to see what happens with the whole tower stuff.
Yeah.
So they might just be, literally hunkering down.
Yeah.
And we've seen that from Aes Sedai. They do just, hedge.
On my initial gut check, I don't care about these Aes Sedai.
Not worried about them?
No, not really.
Okay.
I don't know. Nope.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I mean, built into the whole description and everything, there's a few thoughts going through Elaine's head. She's thinking, no, it wouldn't be Elida's people. Yes, the order to bring me back to the tower is still out there, but it was issued a long time ago, back before I was, actually Aes Sedai. And the tower wants Elaine to be an open Aes Sedai as queen. That's what the tower wants.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't make sense for Elida to, try to kidnap me and return me back to the tower now that I'm trying to become queen.
Yeah.
Because I can't become queen if I'm in the tower.
No, but they don't want her to become queen yet. Elaine doesn't know that.
Yeah, okay.
Because they wouldn't consider her full Aes Sedai.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good point too. But also, now is the time to become queen.
Being in Elaine's head here her opinion doesn't really matter.
It's
what she thinks isn't accurate, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, I get that. Also, you're hoping that Elida and people working with Elida are just going to do what is logical and makes the most sense.
Right.
Because, maybe they won't.
Nah, that's true. Okay, so Elaine says that she won't be kept inside by being afraid of Elida. And Saritha doesn't like that very much, but Elaine thinks that at least the other sisters are acknowledging her status as a full Aes Sedai now, regardless of how she was raised.
Yeah.
And so Elaine is pretty adamant that she needs to be out and about, seen by people, campaigning. Otherwise, she'll never get the people of Andor behind her.
Yeah, so this is part of the campaign trail.
Right, and then we get more description of more people. They're hungry. They're foreigners.
Yeah.
There's an incident with a hungry woman that Elaine tries to give coin to, but then it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, there's food banks, and we know that Andor takes care of, hungry people.
I was going to say that, because that was Morgaze who set that up. There was the Queen's Bounty or whatever,
right? That's a thing that Caemlyn does. Is you don't have to beg because there's literally, you can get fed and all that stuff taken care of.
Right.
So.
Is that still happening?
From what it seems like, yeah, because they do talk about how the palace is feeding thousands of people every day. So it does seem like that's still set up in place. But there is a really funny little comment here where it was Saritha, because she tells Elaine, hey, remember, be careful, because a well-aimed rock will leave you unconscious and easily carried away.
Yeah.
And Elaine's like, duh, except if you remember, back in Crown of Swords, when Elaine and Nynaeve were leaving the kin, and then they literally got hit in the head and almost kidnapped.
Yeah.
Because they were using blunt-tipped arrows.
Yes.
And then also, if you remember back in The Dragon Reborn, chapter 39, when Egwene, Elaine, and Nynaeve all did get kidnapped because they all got hit in the head with rocks.
Conked out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyways, Elaine's like, I know that. I know what I'm doing.
And also, let's fast forward a little bit to the story of what happened last night.
I know. Again, it's always.
Yeah, just not smart.
Yeah, she's always getting kidnapped. Anyways.
Okay. But she's going to refuse bodyguards.
Yeah, yes.
Smart.
Yeah.
Good one.
This is my home. I live here. And it's you should
but
still.
But there's spies and people who want to kidnap you.
Yes.
You should be protected.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyway, at this point, we get even more information about what's going on in Caemlyn. There's refugees, people settling down, people with different skills and trades.
Yeah, it's like what happened in the Two Rivers. People come in.
Yeah.
They have different trades.
They
start new businesses.
things.
It's good.
Yeah, boosts economy.
Yeah, it's great.
And then that leads into Elaine worried about the recruiting situation.
Yeah, because there's also mercenaries everywhere, too.
And then that leads into Elaine suddenly becoming aware of Brigida in her head, because Brigida is very angry and coming towards Elaine very quickly.
Yes. It's worrisome.
Yeah. So Elaine immediately orders her group to return to the palace, and they all start heading back. But before they can even get to the inner city, Brigida rides up to them through the crowd and then falls in beside Elaine. She shares the news that a pigeon flew into the palace with word from Erangel. And now, number one, I forgot where that was.
Border
Had
city.
to look it up.
Yep.
That's the one. That's the one on the river.
Yes, that's the border between Caemlyn and Andor.
Right.
It's like the border town.
That was the port where Matt got off.
Yep.
And that was the port where they got on that lumbering guy.
That's the one.
The ship.
That's
not
the place.
A ship. Yep. Barge. That's the word I'm looking for.
You got it. That's the one.
Okay, so Erangel. But we learn the men who were escorting Nayan and Elenia were ambushed and killed 5 miles out of town, and it's probably not just bandits looking for ransom.
Yeah, so all this makes more sense once you remember who these people are.
Okay, good. Listen, even right now, I'm not 100% sure who these people are, and I feel like I should.
This is the issue. We know who they are. We know what should be happening with them.
I don't know these names.
But we do. So
I swear I don't.
Nain and Elenia are the two noblewomen who, after Colavir took the Sun Throne in Caemlyn, then like the same day, they both tried to take the Lion Throne in Andor, like back to back, and Dylan basically kicked them both off and then took them into captivity. So
these were
Nain
the
and Elenia,
prisoners.
Yeah, those are the two prisoners who basically shouldn't be a big deal when we were going through that list of like who Elaine's like issues are going to be. Yeah. These two are the ones who were in captivity. And in this chapter, we learn that they were being kept captive in Erangel, in the border city.
Yeah.
And now we also learn in this chapter that a couple days ago, whatever, today, I'm not exactly sure the timeline, Elaine ordered them to be brought to Caemlyn to be kept in Caemlyn safely.
Why?
So, because they were in Erangel and it's harder to keep tabs on your enemies when they're further away. So they sent a small crew to try to bring them back here, and that crew got killed. So now the two who are in captivity are now escaped. And the whole thing about this chapter is trying to figure out who helped them escape. Was it one of their houses? Was it somebody else? Like, not exactly sure.
I wish I cared more.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah.
They never really got built up as, like, big people.
I honestly didn't know. I figured probably by about the end of the chapter, I could assume that that's probably who these people were. Yeah. I just didn't understand what Erangel had to do with this.
It's funny, because we learned about these people at the beginning of this book in the prologue. Yeah, so
I remember that there were two. I didn't remember their names, and I sort of put two and two together. Yeah, but I was very confused because I thought they were being kept in the palace.
Yeah, no, they're in Erangel and they're being brought to Caemlyn, and they got ambushed somewhere along the way. And also, we do note that there's two houses who are basically hedging their support for probably one of those two houses. Elenia's or Nain's. So it's basically a wrapped up of maybe 4 houses that Elaine needs to be worried about in this kerfuffle. Yeah.
And can we assume here that Egwene has traveled to the tower yet?
Yeah, I would assume so.
I don't think it's been a month.
It's hard. Okay, yeah.
That's the hard thing about the timeline here. Because we know that the 3 houses, 2 or 3 houses? 3,
There's
I thought.
3, yeah.
Are all wrapped up at the Mirandi border, watching Elaine and that crew.
But and that's not Erangel. So
no, that's
that's
south.
Yeah.
And so I'm not concerned about those people very much until Egwene leaves.
Yeah, we need a dream meeting between Elaine and we need a timestamp.
I need to know. I do need a timestamp because I need a timestamp.
Okay, well let's look for that then, and we'll figure it out. So
okay, so. At this point, Elaine is just like, that means there's spies in the palace.
Yeah, because it was a secret mission.
Yeah, and like, duh.
Of course there's spies.
We've
Spies
already
everywhere.
been over this.
All the time.
Elaine, we talk about this all the freaking time.
Yeah.
Of course there are.
Even like rats and stuff. They're all spy. Everything and everyone is a spy.
Yeah. And then this is the argument about bodyguards, and Elaine shuts that down really quick because, the palaces are home. And then we get that the first maid lady is questioning every servant who didn't serve Morgaze at least 5 years to try to suss out some spies.
You gotta figure out who these spies are.
Yeah.
And also, it's probably everyone, so you gotta get the right spies, too.
Yeah, and Elaine's like, oh man, all this recruiting I've been doing for sure allowed spies to slip in.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, and also spies.
Yeah.
Also, everybody knew around here, spies.
Mm-hmm.
Just like assume everybody's a spy. So they're on their way, heading back to the palace, and Elaine berates herself for not having a bigger escort for these two people because now of her decisions, 10 men are dead, and they lost these women, and Brigida's like, no.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter, because even if you put a bigger guard on them, then whoever did this and organized this would have just sent more people.
Yeah.
And then also tied into this is that we want to make sure Elaine keeps Erengil as, like, Caemlyn territory.
Yeah.
Because then if you empty out Erengil of all the people to bring these two nobles, and then you can lose Erengil, we don't want that either.
Right. And Brigida is in full nagging mom mode.
Yeah.
That's how Elaine is feeling. She really doesn't like Brigida nagging at her. That's the theme this whole chapter. Because Brigida says, your adventuring days are done. And next thing you know, you're going to be sneaking out of the palace in disguise and getting your head cracked open.
Yeah, which is really funny because at first, when I read it, it's almost like a callback to when that's what they were like literally doing in Abu Dar.
Yeah.
It's like sneaking out of the palace in disguise and then getting attacked.
Yes.
Because that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently, it's happening here.
Yeah, it's happening again.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't feel like Brigida knows that, but Saritha for sure does.
It might definitely probably be yes.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
So, because Saritha then starts talking about how pretty young women shouldn't go out at night, and it turns out that Elaine and Avienda went sneaking out by themselves and were for sure followed.
Yeah.
And then later on, we learned they for sure got knocked out.
No, they didn't get knocked out. Avienda was worried about...
No, I'll point it out when Brigida says something later on.
Okay.
Elaine's head was for sure hit.
Oh, yeah. No, she was, yes. Not Avienda, though, because she had Avienda with her. So it seems like Avienda was fine.
Okay, and then that's why Saritha here's like, you're lucky you were with another woman who could channel.
Yeah.
To help you out.
The story is too close to the truth to not know exactly what happened. So
yes.
Yeah. And that's why it's so crazy because Elaine in Abu Dar, when they got knocked out, she got knocked out, and Nynaeve was the one who could channel and got them out of that situation.
Yeah.
So it's like Elaine constantly gets saved by people.
Why? Why is she on discuss? What's she doing?
Yeah, well, I know.
Like, what's so important right now, Elaine? Really?
She's going on an adventure. Yeah.
I don't know. It must be some. I'm interested to know. Like, that's what I wanted to see. Show me that plot. Show me that.
Yeah.
Show me Elaine and Avienda sneaking out of the palace at night in disguise, getting followed. Show me that.
You don't want to just hear about it as a...
No, but you know what? Even if they did show me that, I would just complain that I've already seen this scene before.
Fair, yep.
I would just complain about it.
See?
I'm impossible to please.
That's true. Well, so is Brigida, so... Can't have any fun here.
None. All right. And then this is where we get the conversation about who took these women, because the real question is like they don't know yet. And Elaine explains this whole situation about what they could look for.
Yeah. So the basic premise here is that Elenia's husband, if Elenia's husband rescued them, Elenia and Nain, then Elenia is going to give Nain a choice. You can either side with my house or I'm going to murder you. And Nain won't give up her house, like, super easily, but their house is kind of, like, in disarray, and they're arguing over who's in charge, so they're not going to make a decision, so Elenia is going to, like, threaten or actually torture Nain until Nain eventually caves. And then, since there's those two houses that are hedging already, if Nain caves to Elenia, then the other two are going to also side with Elenia because she's strong, and then Elaine is like, oh no, 4 houses now against me directly. And on the flip side, if it's Nain's people who saved them, like took Elenia and Nain, then basically the same offers are going to be made, except that Elenia's husband, Jared, is going to go on a killing rampage against Nain's house, unless Elenia tells him not to, and she's not going to do that if there's any hope of her actually getting rescued. So what Elaine basically summarizes is that we have to wait and see what happens, and in the next little while, if there's news that Nain's estates are being burned, then that means that there's infighting between the houses, and that's a good thing because they're going to be distracted and not focused on Elaine.
Right.
And if there's none of that, then that means that there's going to be 4 united houses against Elaine.
Mm-hmm.
So, look for burning houses.
Okay.
And when that happens...
And that will tell me something?
I'll re-summarize.
Thank you.
There you go. It's either good for Elaine, or it's bad for Elaine.
Okay.
According to Elaine's summary right here.
Okay. Burning houses sounds good, although also bad. For the people whose houses are being burned.
If it's your enemy, then it's like,
Yeah, but if it's your house.
There's also the third option of like, maybe
Yeah.
it wasn't either of their husbands who actually...
That's also a thing.
Maybe.
But with Elaine puzzling this out, she impresses Saritha slightly. So that's a thing.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. And then they ride all the way back to the palace, and Elaine thinks about this situation.
Yep.
Then we get back there, and there's a bunch of description of the palace and the guards and the
servants,
rooms and the servants and the warder.
The other murder suspect is here.
Ooh, is that
the other Aes Sedai?
Karine?
Yeah.
Carrie-Anne?
Carrie-Anne, however you want to say that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other one.
Mm.
Or it's Marililla.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of those 3.
Well, it's not Merlilla. It can't be.
All right, so it's one of the 2. Is it Saritha or is it Carrie-Anne?
I already told you who it is.
Who did you say?
One of these 2 kinswomen.
Oh, okay.
We'll get there.
Sure. All right.
That's why they're coming up with this, you know.
Yes, of course. Okay, you're going to have to explain that to me.
Okay, so now Elaine arriving back here causes some surprise. They weren't expecting her back for a while, but everybody saw Brigida riding away in a hurry, and now she's back with Elaine, so the rumors are all going to pop up that Caemlyn is under attack or something.
Houses are riding out now, no.
Yeah, but everybody settles down.
Yeah, it's fine.
Not that.
Turns out nothing actually happened.
Literally,
Yeah.
Well, there's news.
Saritha has a new warder named Yarman, who is what some sisters call fresh caught, or bonded less than a year, and the term dates back from a time when warders were not always asked if they wanted to bond.
Right.
That's just like a terrible little nugget of information.
Love that.
Yeah, fresh
Love that
caught.
for them.
Yeah. Yuck. Okay.
Oh. So, is that Rand?
I mean,
Rand
yeah, he
would
is
be
fresh caught. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot.
Okay.
So Saritha and her warder end up leaving to go to the library because...
To plan more murders.
Well, in case you forgot, she's a Brown.
Oh, yeah, right.
So
that
she's
too.
going to the library.
That too, yeah.
And even though this library isn't as good of a library as she would like, it's still a library.
It's still pretty good.
Still got some stuff.
Still got new books.
So when they leave, Elaine asks Brigida if she'd like a warder cloak, because as soon as Egwene has the tower, she'll have one made for her.
Perfect.
And Brigida is like, I don't care about
fuck your cloak.
Flaming cloak.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't care.
It's the best reaction.
She's more concerned about how Elaine was out last night and got knocked out.
Yes.
And
yeah.
this is the moment that we find
They're
out
like,
that
not
Brigida's
again.
like, I thought maybe you just fell down and
Yeah.
hit your head in the bathtub or something.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were out, and that's bad news.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And Elaine's like, you weren't there because I didn't want you there. And then this all escalates into this, like, argument about Brigida scolding Elaine, and Elaine not wanting to be told what to do, but also Elaine doesn't use swear words properly, and she gets all offended by that. And then Brigida is not acting like a well-behaved new warder, and then Brigida stalks away.
Yeah.
Bad situation. But now that Elaine is by herself, she's frustrated by this conversation. She stands there thinking about it for a long time, and then she realizes she's just standing in the hallway scowling.
Yeah.
And there's like a servant standing there watching her.
Yeah, she's got all these feelings about the Brigida relationship, and I do want to kind of like maybe talk about this for half a second, because Elaine is frustrated that Brigida doesn't behave more like a warder.
Right.
She wants more warder in their Aes Sedai warder relationship. But the thing is, if you want a warder, then bond a warder.
Yeah.
Because the way that she became your warder
is you were saving her life.
And granted, that's good, you saved her life. And then after the fact, she like accepted the task of protecting you.
Yeah.
On her own terms, though.
Yeah.
So like if you want a warder, you gotta bond one for that purpose. And she wants to do this to Rand too. And it's like, do you think that Rand is going to be like a perfect warder?
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, no way.
Nope.
That's you're going to be just, like, you need 3. You need Brigida, you need Rand, and you need, like, an actual warder
who's going to
do what you say. Yeah. That's what you need.
Right. But at this point, Elaine yells at a servant to go find the first maid and to get to work.
You got time to lean, you got time to clean.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Working hard or hardly working?
Yeah, gotcha. Nope.
All right, let's take a quick break because that's the end of this chapter, and then we'll come on back.
Sounds good.
Okay, and we're back. And before we jump into chapter 8, we actually have a question from Deyvis, one of our newest executive producers.
Yeah.
And so he wants to know, do you guys know if there's any connection between the Aiel of Wheel of Time and the Gerudo in Zelda?
Yeah.
And now,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know if I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
But I don't.
So here we go.
No.
Okay. I'm glad you asked me this before we started recording this episode.
Yeah.
Just to prep me on, hey, this is a question that's going to come up. And you said, hey, I'm pretty sure you know this kind of stuff, right? And no. So here's the thing. I've never played any Zelda games before.
Never?
No.
I've played like one Zelda game.
I never played any Zelda. I never had any video game systems as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so
you were
that's
deprived.
Yeah.
Terrible childhood. We understand.
Yeah. So the only familiarity I have with like Zelda stuff is from like Super Smash Bros. From playing at friends' houses.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be like Link, Zelda, or Ganondorf. So I looked it up on the Zelda wiki. The Gerudo are also known as the female pirate. So all the knowledge I have of all this stuff is literally, I'm reading from the wiki. So if they're familiar or similar to the Aiel, I'm going to say probably not. But if yes, then only vaguely. So that's the best answer I got for you. So anyone who's like missing out on all the fun information here, the Gerudo are a race of thieves in the Legend of Zelda series. They live in harsh desert, okay? The climate of the desert has made them tough and resourceful. They're warriors by reputation, feared and respected in the countries they inhabit. So that all kind of makes sense.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And apparently, due to a unique biological quirk, the race consists almost solely of females. And I think the leader is Ganondorf? Not really sure. But also, there's something about having red hair. Sometimes. So that's why I was going to say, you know what?
It sounds like there's a connection.
You know what? I'm
like
going to say maybe.
But like a fun coincidence?
It's more of a connection than some of my fun facts have been for connecting things.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
But less than like some of the connections. It's more than some and less than others.
Okay.
So it's a definite maybe.
It's a fun question.
Yeah, I wish I knew more. I don't know enough.
You know who knows more? Other people.
Maybe they can like fill us in.
And the other people are going to chime in on this.
Yeah, I hope so.
And we will maybe have a follow-up.
Yes.
If anybody has anything to say about this.
We'll see.
Okay, so let's get into chapter 8. Seafolk and Kin.
Yeah.
And now the chapter symbol is the Adam, which I went, ooh,
whoa,
what's going to happen here?
Oh no, they're all captured.
Yeah, okay.
Not quite.
I'm going to tell you, I was struck with the case of the skimming.
Oh no.
And I didn't understand what was happening at all.
Oh no, okay.
And I'll point that out when I get here. I read the whole chapter before I understood really what was going on.
Yeah, okay.
Until they expressly tell me who these people are and how they got here. Yep. I had no idea. I didn't pick up on any of the little tidbits.
It also helps if
whatsoever.
if you know the names of people and like what factions they're associated with. That helps.
Yeah, no, I got that part, but as soon as we got to the Suldam and Damani, I went, how are they here? I missed the tidbits of how. Anyway, on the second read, I went, oh, it's literally like on the second page. It tells me. But,
yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna enter in an Elaine perspective. We're continuing from last chapter, and Elaine runs into the first maid lady, Mistress Harfor, before she can even get to her apartment, and they jump right into things in the hallway.
Exciting news.
Yeah, I feel like with all this talk of spies and shit.
Oh yeah.
Like, stop talking in the hallways.
Yeah, you know, that would make sense, yeah.
Get to a secure location.
Or you're an Aes Sedai. You can weave a ward.
Yeah.
And no one can even see it unless they're an Aes Sedai.
No one even knows.
Anyways.
Yeah. And if the Aes Sedai have problems with that, then maybe that makes them suspicious.
Huh? Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Oh,
anyways,
Elaine,
no spies. You haven't found them yet.
Tries her best, hey?
Sometimes.
This is the best she has.
Oh, no. People
even
are going to come
Mrs.
at you for
Harfor,
that.
who's like,
Yeah.
I haven't caught any spies yet. She's like yelling in the hallways.
Yeah, except she sort of, maybe caught 2, sort of.
They ran away, though.
Yes.
So that's basically they're guilty.
Yeah. And I mean, that's pretty close.
Okay.
It's good enough.
Sure.
At least get them out of here.
I guess.
But the thing we got to worry about is other spies and also
other spies.
Aes Sedai spies.
From other houses
Yeah.
and Aes Sedais that are staying in Caemlyn.
And who are not staying in Caemlyn. Like, there's so many people on payroll. You know what I want? Is I want someone to come to me and be like, hey, Brad, I'm going to pay you money under the table to spy on whatever.
And I'll be
I'll be like, sure. You know what? I'll use the please.
Sure.
Please. If anybody wants me to spy, I don't know what there is I could spy on, but like...
You could do it.
I'm an open book, man.
Ah.
Just putting it out there to the world.
Putting cups to doors?
Yeah, I will listen at many doors. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Walls.
Yeah. And you're really good at pretending like you zone out?
Right.
Yeah. Like when you don't want to be part of
sit in
conversations.
coffee shops and just be like, not paying attention, man. But
I'm just here. I'm just reading a book.
secretly listening.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's how you be a spy. You're good at this.
I could do this.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, no time for that now.
Moraine, who just like literally has the ability
that
to
too.
just like listen in on conversations really far away.
Super helpful.
That is helpful when you're a spy.
Yeah. Anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't want to talk about that because...
No. Now, Elaine and I have something in common here.
They don't want to talk about Master Nori?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about the books.
Sure.
It's super boring.
Rand also thought he was the boring business guy.
Yeah, he is. He's the boring business guy.
But he's got important news.
He does have important news, which makes me be like, ooh, we should probably learn what this is.
And he's like, the accounts don't line up. I don't know. It's like,
yeah.
Is that the urgent news? I don't know.
I don't know. Also, there's a bunch of things wrong because food is spoiling. And...
Weevils.
Well, and hams going bad in winter?
Yeah.
Weird. No time for that now.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, food goes bad.
Not in the winter. Seems weird.
It does seem weird.
Seems weird. Elaine even thinks weird, but also boring.
Okay.
Boring.
Okay.
And Elaine also thinks this is boring. That was me saying boring because this is all boring.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Elaine doesn't want to deal with this either.
Yeah. No, she does not.
Same page.
Also, Elaine, you want to be queen.
Like, this is
gotta
part of the
deal with
thing.
the accounts.
Yeah. And the petitioners, like, this is what your job is.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Because there's merchants here too.
Yeah,
which
but that's
I'm curious about because they're like, oh, they mean nothing, and I'm like, ooh, I bet they mean something.
Okay, yeah, I mean,
I bet
it sounds
they're here
like
for an important reason.
it could
we're
be.
just not going to see them.
Yeah,
and that's going to be a problem.
We're gonna find out later. It's like, oh no,
yeah,
they had the best business plan ever.
Should have seen them.
You missed out on it.
They had a whole army here.
Yeah, it was great. They were like, hey,
offering it to you. You
shoot.
didn't see them. Ah, shoot.
Okay, probably not that, but
Okay. Now, Elaine doesn't want to meet with Master Nori or the merchants, and now they finally made it to the apartments, but before she goes in, she sees 2 of the kinswomen hurrying as fast as they can with somebody else.
Yes.
Now.
Okay, this is where you started skimming?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've been skimming this whole time.
Sure, okay.
Because none of this is interesting. That's the issue here.
Okay.
Is there's a little bit of interesting embedded in the not interesting, so I haven't been paying attention. I don't care about the merchants. I don't care about Master Nori.
Yeah.
I don't care about weevils.
Yeah. But then it's like flashes of silver at the neck. Oh, no.
Oh, and then they have a leash being hid under a green scarf. And oh, what does that mean? Oh, it's exciting.
Yeah, sort of.
And then Elaine thinks, how did Rand always manage to do the wrong thing?
Hilarious.
And this is a tidbit I skipped over completely.
Okay.
It didn't even matter to me what she was talking about.
In hindsight, really funny line.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
And then the maid tells Elaine that Rihanna has asked to see her also because she has good news for her. And Elaine's like, lead with that.
Yeah.
Don't tell me about Master Nori and the dumb merchants. I want to hear good news from the sea folk lady.
Yeah.
Kinswoman.
But also, the first maid is trying to keep Elaine on track with stuff that needs to get done for the palace.
Right.
And Rihanna was like, hey, I don't need to actually see her, but like when there's a second.
Right.
So that's why it came later.
I see.
Because it's not actually a priority.
Right. But it's interesting.
As you can
see.
And
we go running off to the interesting
Let's
stuff.
do that first. There you go.
But we do get this interesting note that I completely missed the first time.
Sure.
Completely.
Okay.
This first maid is used to dealing with strange foreign diplomats like the sea folk and the kin, But she doesn't understand these women the Asha man brought,
Yes.
which are basically prisoners.
Yeah.
And now, I did not read that.
Yeah.
That is not something that I registered in my brain.
Gotcha.
And then later, I was like, where did these Shan-Chen come from?
Mm.
And I was even thinking back to when the Shan-Chen were attacking them and they blew up the thing. And I was like, I thought none of the Shan-Chen got out. Was there secretly one that they kept?
Yeah,
And
okay.
I'm trying so hard to think of where this woman might have come from.
Yeah.
I just can't understand this whole scenario.
It's actually been really funny, too, because we've heard about when Taim came in.
Yes.
He was like, Rand brought you a present.
Yeah.
And then Elaine was like, ooh, presents. I love presents. I wonder what it could be.
Yeah.
And I asked you, like, what could it be? And then Taim even said it was something from the south.
Yes.
And then I tried to be like, what came from the south? Who was just in the south? Rand. And we literally saw Rand capturing the Suldam and Damani, being like, what are you going to do with them?
Yeah.
And yeah, he didn't want to give them over to...
Yeah, I thought it wasn't anything.
Yeah, so it's a thing.
It's a thing.
It was really funny for me.
I get it.
Yeah.
I also had no idea.
Yeah.
I missed this completely.
I'm glad. You know, because I was wondering if I should, like, point out the fact that they probably captured a lot of Suldam and Damani, like, with Rand's adventures against the Shan-Chen.
Yeah.
But then I opted not to mention that to you because I didn't want to...
Oh, no, I picked up on the fact that they had them, and Rand wasn't sure what he was going to do with them, and then the one Suldam went screaming and would rather die than be in captive of Aes Sedai. And so, this is funny, and I like that Rand did this.
Okay.
I think that this is better than being handed over to the Aes Sedai that Rand is with. Yeah. Or was with. I don't even know where Rand is.
It's funny, because I think that Taim thinks it's funny, too.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's hilarious.
It's like, this is fun. It's great,
joke. It's so good.
Prank.
Yeah, it's a good prank, but also, I don't think it's stupid. I think that Elaine has a lot going on. She's a little over her head.
Yeah.
But at least she has all these other women to help her here.
I mean, Elaine needs to learn how to delegate. That's like literally what she needs to...
that's clearly what's happened here. She delegated.
Yeah.
She's not investigating.
Yeah.
Interrogating.
We working with?
These Suldam and Damani herself. Yeah. She delegated this task. She did. And she has some people that she feels she can trust. So that's good.
Yeah, she
Okay, but she wants good news.
So let's go do...
So she's going to go deal with this first. It's way more interesting.
But wait.
There's more. She turns a corner and then runs into Van Dien, who's coming this way with murder suspect number 1 and murder suspect number 2. Oh,
that's what you meant. Okay, so Kristen and Zarya. Gotcha.
Yes.
So the two kinswomen who admitted to being runaways a couple chapters. Yeah, they were runaways.
Slash Zarya.
But they're also like super old. So, but now they're novices again.
Yes.
So, okay.
Well, one is super old and one's only a little bit old.
Right, okay.
Because one, Van Dien and Adelius recognized.
Yeah.
But.
And then one is like 400 years old or
that
something.
No one ever could have possibly recognized. And it was a little bit
way
suspect
too old,
for me.
Yeah.
That she just like gave herself over.
Okay.
That's where I was. This is the conversation we had with when Jason was a guest. That was the whole thing where I speculated that it was the new novices.
Gotcha.
Because that's who you'd accept tea from.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Right?
Okay. I accept your... Yeah.
Here we have Kirsten and Zarya being like, ooh, we've come up with who it could have been.
Are they in cahoots, possibly?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, probably. And probably both Dark Friends.
Okay.
Obviously.
Ooh.
To, be in on this plot.
Yeah, sure.
And I bet they're in cahoots because Zarya / Garenia was caught.
Yeah.
Which prompted Kirsten
to like jump in
on it so they could like potentially be together.
Cool.
To help each other.
You know what? This is not your worst formulated idea.
Yeah, and it still holds for me.
Okay. You know what? I'll accept that.
Yeah. Okay. So here we are. Van Dien tells Elaine that she's been looking for her because these children have been thinking over the events at Harlan Bridge, which is code for the Ispan Adelius murder scenario.
Yeah, because there's a cover story that it was a robbery.
Oh, yeah, everybody believes that for sure.
Yeah.
And instead of keeping quiet about it, they've decided to come to Van Dien with their conclusion
Yes.
that the killer must be Merlilla, Saritha, or Karene.
Carrie-Anne?
Carrian.
Carrie-Anne?
And Van Dien is like, this is excellent logic, but I'm annoyed that they're thinking about this at all.
Yeah, okay.
Which is, I know why they're thinking about it.
So just to sum, your thoughts, the 3 that they're blaming it on, they're free and clear.
Yeah, probably.
We're good. Okay.
Or, yeah, probably. Yeah. No,
okay,
yeah,
and
no
there's
or.
definitely one or both of them are implicated in the murder.
Definitely.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And Elaine's like, yeah, duh. I
Makes
obviously knew the killer must be an Aes Sedai. Just due to the circumstances, I never thought a kinswoman or a Seafolk could ever be part of this. There's no way that there could be a dark friend among the Seafolk.
Yeah.
Or the kinswomen.
No.
Like,
okay.
Come on.
The reason why it's not the Seafolk is because Crimson Thorn is an herb that's found super far inland, so there's like no way that they would know about it.
There's no possible way that...
They couldn't ask somebody about an herb. No. Hey, do you have a special murder herb or whatever? Or like if they're dark friends, they have a network.
Chances are these were orders.
For sure, yeah.
And someone
and it's
was
like, hey, put this in the tea.
This.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
So, no, 100%.
No, anyways, that means Seafolk, totally free and clear.
Yeah.
And the kin, none of them are dark friends because...
They would have sussed each other out by now.
Well, Ispan was being questioned by Adalis and Van Dien. She also was a runaway back in the day to Abu Dar, never got into the whole kin business. But if any dark friends were in the kin, then they would have passed information about the kin onto other dark friends, so all dark friends should know everything about the kin.
Yep.
Makes sense to me.
Perfect
there
logic.
We go. They should all be white Aja.
Yeah, they're...
Perfect logic and reasoning. I love it.
About as good at negotiating as those Greys we've met.
There we go. Wow, burn on Miranda. Okay, she's not even here to defend herself.
Oh, shit. Okay. Okay, so this is all dumb.
Yeah, no, okay.
Anyway, the fact that these women are even thinking about this stuff means that they need to be kept out of trouble and worked hard at lessons.
And Van Dien doesn't want to be the one to do it.
No. Van Dien's like, I'm old.
Yeah.
And sad.
So that means that it's going to be Elaine or Nynaeve.
Oh, yeah, right. The freaking queen-to-be, daughter heir, who's dealing with all... Oh, yeah. Give the lessons to these two numbskull dark friends.
No.
Sure. Not numbskulls. Probably not numbskulls.
Numbskull dark friends. That's so funny. Oh, my God. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's good. That's good.
No.
I don't know if anybody else thinks that they're dark friends. I think that might just be a you thing.
I don't care. They're
that's not on the. That's not on the like the whole. I don't want to deal with them because they're numbskull dark friends. If anything. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man, that's funny. Okay.
But Elena's like, "Oh, I'm way too busy. It'll have to be Nynaeve."
And then wait, there's more
in like comic relief fashion.
What's gonna be me?
What's gonna be me marching up? It's Nynaeve, and she's actually very cheerful because she's been doing it all morning.
All morning. It's so funny. It's so good.
But Elaine's like, oh, she must be lying about that because I've seen Lan's face.
I see, like,
and he's
no one's
miserable.
Yeah,
there's no way he's having sex with her. She must be lying about all that sex.
And at least not in a good way. It's like she's overcompensating because maybe it's just terrible.
Miserable.
It's oh my God. Okay.
He chills their marriage bed.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell are you, Elaine?
Elaine has a lot of experience in the love department.
None. She has zero.
She has none experience.
She's in love with somebody who she hasn't literally talked to in over a year probably at this point. I don't actually even know. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
She sent him 2 confusing letters and then additional confusing messages.
She's not confused by the letters. She thought the letters were great.
The letters were great.
Yeah.
I meant what I said in my letters.
Yeah.
So additional confusing messages.
Exactly.
After the confusing letters.
That's what you want to do when you date. So you keep them on their toes.
Mm-hmm.
Never let them know where you stand.
That's excellent.
It's good advice. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Anyway, this is where we learn that she has the small red dot.
Yep.
The Caemlyn.
Yep.
In the middle of her forehead.
And the audiobook says Caemlyn. I don't know. I feel like it changes sometimes.
Oh, Caemlyn reminds me of the word
Quisiera.
Yeah. Which is a jewel hanging on the forehead.
Like Moraine's, yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
But anyways, launching into a gigantic argument between Elaine, Nynaeve, and Van Dien about
who has to take these stupid numbskull dark friends.
Dumbskull.
Oh man.
Dumbskull.
Dumbskull dark friends. Oh, man, okay.
Well, they're 2 novices, and nobody wants them.
Well, guess who's going to have to do it?
Nynaeve puts her foot down, and Vandine has to do it.
It's so funny. Poor Vandine.
And then Vandine finally reluctantly agrees, because she can't say no to Nynaeve, but she definitely doesn't want to.
Yeah.
So, she's going to be very mean to them.
Oh, man, it's so funny. Also, in Elaine's thought process during this stupid argument, she's like, I just want to slap everybody. Yeah. It's like, you need a slap, you need a slap. I want to slap both of you. It's so good.
Okay.
It's kind of funny.
All right. So, once Vandine leaves with the novices...
Hold on.
Skull friends.
No.
Go ahead.
You also skipped over the whole, she's going to be mean, but... The person who told her that she's too mean to novices...
is a very mean person.
...is Sherila Bagand, who's apparently a legendary Amyrlin. But we know Sherila because Sherila is the exact opposite in greatness as a Chunla. We learned about Sherila.
Don't be a Chunla.
You don't be a Chunla.
Right.
That's when we learned about both of them. Sherila's good, does good things.
But also is really harsh, wasn't she, or something?
Yeah, but, dominated.
Yeah.
And Chunla gets murdered.
Assassinated,
murdered.
Murdered because she was deposed and exiled
tried to come back
and
too
kept
many
trying
times.
to come back.
Yeah.
Oh, Chunla.
Anyways, okay.
Okay.
I just want a little callback there. So
okay.
It's good to know your Tarvalin history.
Of course it is. Who's saying otherwise? Not me. Okay. And then this is where Elaine is like, oh, I can't believe that Lan is good in bed or something.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Oh, man.
I'm just going to read it. Elaine thinks that Nynaeve is lying to cover up some disappointment because Lan looks like he's always ready to kill everything.
Yeah.
That's the note about that. Okay, so they head towards Rihanna, and Elaine fills Nynaeve in on the whole situation with the kidnapping / escape.
Do or now escape, but maybe re-kidnapped by somebody else. There you go.
And potential for spies in the palace.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Pause for shock, because nobody expected that.
But then Nynaeve's like, spies everywhere all the time.
Yeah. Also, 18 of the kin are now out of the palace.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. I want to get your thoughts on this. So
I think it's a bad idea.
They didn't run away.
Yeah.
Nynaeve made gateways so that the 18 of them can go deep into enemy Altara, Amadicia, Terabon, Shanshin held lands so they can try to find any of the kin remaining and bring them back to Caemlyn.
Do they know how to make gateways?
No, none of them are strong enough to make gateways.
So did you
that's
just
why
send them to get captured by the Shanshin? Because that's what it seems like.
So here's the thing. They sent these 18 not because they're necessarily the bravest, but because they were probably going to leave anyways.
So here, give them a
mission.
So here's
a mission. But not just hey, I need you to, I don't know, split firewood for a week or something. It's like
wash
super
the
undercover
dishes in the kitchen. That's your mission.
Undercover spy deep in enemy territory. If you get captured, you'll become a slave forever. To find people we're not specifically looking for.
Which is going to happen.
Yeah, and they're not specifically like, oh, we need you to go into this place and rescue or find this person. It's just like, if you come across anybody, bring them back here.
Yeah.
It's not the best.
No. My note says, well, that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
So that's my thought
on
that.
And we didn't get any names for them either.
And we never heard about them again.
Oh my god. That's, I wish I could laugh harder without coughing.
Until we find...
I know.
We're fighting the Shanshin, and we recognize some of their new demonic.
It's like, honestly,
at this point, I'm like, what the fuck?
Then
what's happening?
Like, did you find anybody? No?
No,
sorry,
you didn't
man.
find them?
Oh, no.
And how are they supposed to get back to Caemlyn?
Walk.
With all of these women who can channel that they're finding.
Walk. Quickly.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
Bad.
Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah.
All right. Listen.
Okay.
They finally make it.
To the good news.
Oof. There's two people in this room with Rihanna. One is Elise.
Yep.
And the other is a woman in a plain brown wool dress who's looking stubborn and is intentionally avoiding looking at the Adam that's sitting on the table. So cue chapter icon.
Yeah.
Now Nynaeve says, don't tell me you've made one of them see reason. And Elise is like, nope. They still suck.
Yeah. Yep. They deny they can channel. they can't really channel, and that's actually what we know about the Suldam.
Yeah.
Is like they could learn, but they're in this like weird kind of in between state.
And I think that actually some of the Suldam probably can.
Probably can.
Yeah.
But it's like for a lot of them, it might be like this weird in between where it's like they function. It's like you know the mechanics of golfing, but you've never golfed before. So like if you try and do it, it's gonna be weird. But like you could probably you might be bad at it. You could work your way through it.
Probably golf.
Like you could maybe So. Anyways.
You're a relatively athletic person.
Like maybe you could
kind of figure this out.
You've read a lot of books on it.
Right.
You might be able to make it happen. I don't know.
Right.
Okay.
Now, it's not quite the spark of a woman born with it, but almost. And so this is a Suldam. And apparently, they are still denying that they can even see the flows. And even though we know they can, and they're just basically lying to themselves, they're trying to claim that the kinswomen are trying to trick them with the power.
Yeah.
This whole thing is going on. And my first read, I'm so confused.
You don't know who this person is or why.
This is the first moment where I'm sure that there's a Suldam sitting here, and I don't know where she came from or why she's being questioned or how they have her as a prisoner. Am I supposed
to know this person?
Yes.
Has she been here the whole time with us?
Yes.
I don't know.
This is when I was so confused.
Yeah.
And then a minute later, Elaine sighs and thinks, what a gift Rand had sent her.
Yeah.
And then I went,
yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I like that there were other tidbits before, which would make this, but I appreciate the blatant, this is what this is.
This is the present.
In case you missed the two sentences before.
Well, you could have skimmed that one too, but anyway.
No, this one, at least, because this was interesting stuff that was going on. Don't put important things
in the boring
stuff, because I'm not going to read it.
Lesson learned.
Fair.
So, there's 29.
Go.
There's 29 Shanshan Suldam being held by a dam, and 5 Damani who can't be uncollared because they would obviously try to free the Suldam if they were given the chance.
Yes.
So there we go.
Yeah. So at this point, it's clear now that these are the captured Suldam and Damani from the battle.
Yes.
And my notes say, oh man, nice one, Rand.
Yeah.
Because I think that this is very good and funny.
Yeah.
And I think that it's smarter than giving them to either the wise ones or the Aes Sedai he's with that he doesn't really... send them on over to Elaine. Here you go.
Yeah.
I think it's funny.
Yeah, I mean, I guess use them as a tool, too. Like, figure out what you can, learn what you can.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Elaine's got a plan.
Yeah. Elaine knew what she wanted to do with them as soon as they arrived. Convince them that they can learn to channel. Oh, just like that, easy. Super easy. Just convince them.
Yep.
And then send them back to the Shanshan, because bringing that knowledge to the Shanshan that the Suldam can channel should shake the foundations of the Shanshan culture.
Yeah.
And it might even cause a breaking of the Shanshan.
So here's the thing. This is actually a super smart plan.
Oh, I said this is a bad idea too.
Okay.
I said, well, that's another bad idea.
Well, here's the thing. We've already seen implications that from the Shanshan who have learned that the Suldam can channel, like Suroth and everything, where it gets super murdery when other people start learning this stuff, because it seems like if too many people found this out, it would in fact possibly shake the foundations of Shanshan society. Because their entire society is predicated on the fact that, like, channelers are bad, and if Suldam are channelers, then it's like the bad people are still free. So, yeah.
Okay. Let me be a touch more specific.
Okay.
The theory of the plan isn't a bad theory.
Okay.
The actual sending Suldam back to the Shanshan to just announce to all of them that they can channel is never gonna happen. That's a bad plan.
Yeah.
Even if here you somehow got one of them to say to you, yes, I could probably learn to channel.
Yeah.
You get them to be like, okay, maybe yes. And then you send them back to where they're either just going to become a slave if they tell people they can channel, or they're going to be murdered.
In like a horrible way, because the Shanshan are pretty creative. Yeah.
And these Suldam know that.
Yeah.
There's no scenario here
where they're going to let
where they're going back to the Shanshan and telling people what Elaine wants them to know. It's a terrible plan.
It's like you need people that accidentally find that out
and
who
you would
aren't.
need Elaine to have a better understanding of the Shanshan culture to actually enact a plan like this.
Yeah.
And she just doesn't. She doesn't have that through no fault of her own. But don't come up with this crazy plan and be like, this'll work. I know how to break the Shanshan.
Yeah. No, you have a lot of really good points about that.
Yeah.
Because they for sure...
Never.
Because that's what happened with the Suldam. They were found...
A couple of them,
accidentally by other people. Yeah. It was like a mistake. It's not like they were like going around saying, ooh, I can channel. Like that never happened.
No.
There's a lot of crying involved, if I remember correctly.
Tons.
Yeah. So,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, that's never going to work. It's never going to happen.
Yeah.
And if it will, I don't know. Here's a scenario.
Okay.
We have an oath rod.
Sure.
And we force them into taking an oath.
Okay.
That says they're going to always tell the Shanshan what they know about themselves.
Oh, they're just immediately going to get murdered.
But then they're just going to get murdered. Like, it's going to break,
yeah.
Even that.
Yeah.
Like, the only scenario, and it's a bad one.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe it's like, the hope is that, they get reintroduced into society, and then eventually one of them spills the beans at some point in the future. But that's like a super long-term plan.
No, they're just going to go back to being super on top of the society Suldams.
Yeah.
That's what they like. That's what they want. They want to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get it. I'm not saying there's not holes in the plan.
No, it's bad.
It's not a fully fledged. It's like, she's got 2 parts of a 12-point plan figured out here.
It's a bad plan.
It needs a little work.
Terrible plan. Okay, so Elaine asks Rihanna, what's the good news then?
That she came here for.
And then Rihanna is like, ooh, I'm going to weave a ward. Now we're going to do that.
Yeah.
Of eavesdropping.
With the captured Suldam.
So the Suldam can't hear you.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, the good news is 3 of the Damane seem ready to be let out of their collars.
Yeah, so, okay, pause. There's 5 total Damane.
Yeah.
1 was taken on Tom and Head.
Yeah.
Another was taken in Tenchico. The other 3 have come from Shanshan.
Okay.
So if there's 3 ready to be let out, you'd think that 2 of them are going to be the ones who are from Randland, and 1 is going to be from Shanshan.
Okay, and is that the case?
That is the case, yes.
Okay, so 2 of the Shanshan women
still
say they deserve to be collared and need to be.
Yeah, and that makes sense, because Shanshan Damane from Shanshan are trained to believe that they should be collared.
Right.
That makes sense.
But another one has stopped saying that.
Yes, so the 3rd one from Shanshan, Olivia, is no longer going along with that story.
Olivia, not Olivia. Olivia is saying that she said that because she was afraid she'd be retaken, and she says she hates all the Suldam, but the issue is she was collared at like 13 or 14, and now she's 400 years old.
Yes. So yeah, if you've lived 385 years, or like 400 years as a Damane.
Yeah.
That's a lot of... I
don't believe you, and I don't trust you.
Which is that's a fair opinion. We should be wary. Also, because the other very important piece about Olivia...
She's considerably stronger than Nynaeve. Who we know to be...
the bonfire to the candle that is Egwene and Elaine.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Who are more powerful than any Aes Sedai right now.
Uh-huh.
So
can they even consider letting her free?
Olivia is like,
Yeah. And then Lan is like, can't keep slaves.
Yep.
Then you're no better than they are. And it's like, is that the goal though, Lan? Is the goal to be better than them, or is the goal to keep everybody safe here?
Okay, so Lan's coming from a pretty heavy place right now, because what he says is, if you keep her collared when she wants to be free, you're no better than they.
Yeah.
Lan is a guy who feels like he's been like collared.
Sure.
It's not he's been through some stuff.
I think what he says is accurate.
Sure.
And it's true. But is the goal to be better than the Shanshan as people?
Yes.
Or is the goal to just keep everybody here safe and alive? Sometimes people have to be prisoner.
Yeah. Be like for a little while.
I'm sorry. No,
I don't
agree with any of this that's happening. It's morally ambiguous and it's stupid and annoying that we even have to have this stupid conversation.
I know. I get it.
But no.
Yeah. We should at least.
You can't.
We need like a therapist to get in with Olivia, dig deep, let's figure out where she's at. Are you just saying this to like get out of here and then gonna blow up the palace? Like what are we gonna do here?
Get the oath rod in here.
Okay.
Get her to start truth bombing, then you can go.
All right.
Yeah. No. I'm a no.
Yeah.
If you're gonna ask me later.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a good idea.
Yeah.
And I completely hate it.
Yeah.
I hate that I'm a no.
Yeah.
And I hate that I'm against Lan.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
But I don't think the goal is to be better than the Shanshan right now.
Yeah.
As people. We're in a very tricky situation.
It also seems like it's all still pretty fresh. Like you can explain the situation to Olivia if she's like actually be like, hey man, I'm gonna level with you here. I get that you're saying this. Let's wait a few more days. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah, especially the ones from Shanshan.
Yeah, like be cool for a bit,
Okay, so let's talk about the other two.
Okay, which is also a problem because the other two, who they want to take the collars off, are the ones from Randland.
Yes.
But there's
Tom
issues.
and Head.
Yeah, Tom and Head and Tenchiko. And one of them, who is on Tom and Head, she doesn't seem to hate the Shanshan. She's actually fond of the Soul who captured her. And the other one's a 19-year-old who she says she hates the Shanshan, but she still answers to her Damani name and still smiles at the Suldam and lets them pet her.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah. We saw the psychological torture.
For sure.
That Egwene went under to become a Damani. And after time, especially if you're not as strong as somebody mentally like Egwene is.
Yeah. But also the length of time that she's been Damani now. Like Egwene, if bad things happen to her, she wasn't Damani for very long.
No.
She didn't get broken completely.
No.
They didn't have, put her in another year of that, and we don't know.
Yeah.
She might be the same as 19, same age.
Well, it's, and you're scared that you're just going to be...
right around, so...
Well, and you're scared you're going to be tortured.
Yeah, yeah.
If you do get recaptured and you've done these things, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
I
bad.
get it, yep.
So, the problem is...
Yeah.
If they're ordered to help the Suldam escape and they're free... They probably will help them escape.
Yeah. Yep.
And chances are they're going to blow up the place to do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so, no.
Yeah.
They have to stay collared. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody who disagrees with me. It's not safe.
Yeah.
And I mean, the plan is they'll remove the Adam and they'll hold on to them as they're still prisoners.
Yeah, you can shield them, you can watch them, you can do all that stuff.
But they don't really say anything about shielding. They say they'll make sure they're never alone, but the collars themselves come off.
Yeah.
So we're not fully just letting them go.
Yeah.
Which, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm more at ease. Okay, fine. The collars come off. But I do think we should have them shielded. I do think that for sure they need to be watched. They're never alone. But now who's responsible for that?
Yeah.
And is something going to slip? And,
When that happens, what happens? So.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's tricky.
It's tricky. I didn't know I was so passionate about that.
Yeah, okay. No,
because I thought in my head, I was like, oh, this is a bad idea.
But yeah, it's like you're...
Geesh.
It's a bad idea.
Get me talking about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for the safety of everybody, I just don't trust Shanshan at all.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, everyone accepts this decision that Nynaeve has made, and Lan says softly, tie Sharmanetherin.
Yeah.
Because he's very proud of Nynaeve for saying that they can't still be collared.
Mm-hmm.
She reacts like this is the nicest thing she's ever heard, because it probably is. And then Elaine is pretty shocked at the soft look in Lan's eyes and thinks maybe he doesn't chill their marriage bed after all.
Oh, no.
And then gets embarrassed thinking about Nynaeve and Lan having sex.
Apparently, Nynaeve is pretty open with all that information, though.
Which, whatever.
Yeah, it's fine.
And then Elaine looks at the Suldam still tied to the chair, and she's staring straight ahead, but now she's crying because... when they're made to look at the weaves long enough, then they all start weeping.
Yes.
But then once the weaves are gone, they convince themselves that they were tricked, and they have to.
Yes.
They have to convince themselves of this. Otherwise, they'd be Damani and not Suldam.
Yeah.
And anybody in this situation at all would always choose to be Suldam and not demonic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Self-preservation. If you don't, then you don't
have
care.
Self-preservation.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's like that's a natural, normal thing.
Yeah.
To want to try and survive.
Maybe the self-preservation is I'd rather be alive than enslave someone.
Yeah.
I'd rather be enslaved than enslave, which is okay.
Yeah.
But for the most part.
Yeah. Most of the time. And it's all nice and fun and games to do hypotheticals like, oh, if I was put in this situation, I would choose this. But like until you're actually in said actual situation, it's all hypothetical.
Yeah.
In which case, like, you know,
and
what would you actually do?
You.
Yeah.
This is all hypothetical because this is a fiction book.
No.
So none of this is real.
Not true. Not accepting that. Nope. Anyways.
Okay, the chapter ends. Elaine thinks, well, this wasn't very good news.
And to be fair, this was never opened with, like, it's definitely good news.
No.
It's like, she's got some news that's, like, maybe okay.
It's decent.
It's decent.
It's fine news.
Yeah.
It sounds like more work.
Yes. Sometimes it'll take time to convince the mistress of the hounds that she herself is also a hound.
Yeah.
More hounds and dogs.
More
it's like
hounds,
and
wolves.
The wolf dog, and sometimes the hounds and the wolf dogs are not friends, and then, you know, you gotta
hunt them down.
Hunt them and make a trap.
Yep.
And then you have a bunch of dogs.
Okay.
There you go.
Here we are. End of this chapter.
Yeah, we did it.
You've promised me more exciting things are on the horizon.
Yes.
And I can't wait.
Yes.
I wasn't feeling very good. But now I'm excited.
Okay.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Since I've read.
It was like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I read the entire Mystic Dragon book, I think, in the middle of this while I was on my trip.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it's good. It was good.
Yeah.
By the way, that book was. But now I'm back into Wheel of Time, so here we go.
Okay.
Yeah. People always ask me if I read anything else, and typically, no, I don't.
But now it's yes.
In the middle of the... After reading these chapters, I read something else. There we go. So, before you wander off at night in a terrible disguise and get conked on the head, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
All right, that'll do it for us tonight. But thanks so much for listening, everyone. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett with Passion Socks, Cody Feltz, Mozyme, Moltude, Benjamin, Michelle O'Brien, Jonathan Reese, Jamie Young, Megan Smiley, Margaret, Charlie Haz, and Adam, with music by Audionautics. Be sure to check out our Patreon page if you're interested in supporting us and the podcast. We'd love to send you some Patreon exclusive merchandise as a thank you, plus you'll gain access to our episodes earlier than everyone else, and at the time of this recording, we have over 40 bonus episodes for your listening pleasure. You can find all that and more at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show and information like how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, and how to get in touch with us, visit thewheelweavespodcast.com. Plus, find us on social media on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at The Wheel Weaves Podcast. And as always, be sure to give us a 5-star review because it really does make a huge difference in helping other people find us. And be sure to tell a friend, Riyadh, because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks again for listening. This really is part of the pattern now.